Right, it's time to take a look at the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning. Public affairs analyst Oladin Diario is here with me in the studio. I will also have broadcast journalist Funke Treasure Durodola. She is my senior colleague in the industry.
You say that all the time.
Funke, nice to see you. And Oladin, nice to see you too.
I'm your junior colleague.
No, you are my senior colleague too.
Good morning.
It's nice to see both of you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's start from Nigeria Tribune. Nigeria Tribune this morning says COVID-19. Hope rises as Pfizer vaccine proves 90% effective. Okay, this is some hope in there. All right. From there, let's go to the Nation newspaper. Ignore protesting youths at your peril. Senate warns. Buhari urges peace. And UN protests fallout of virus pandemic. All right, that's the Nation newspaper. The Sun says fresh civil protest looms. A Senate president warns. And NSAS targeted at destabilizing Nigeria. Northern Coalition tells UN, UK, and the US. Okay. That's what the Sun has. From there, let's go to the Vanguard newspaper. It's focusing on the NSAS protests and the fallout of it. MBA CSO Sands, a senior advocate of Nigeria, flay federal government's move to try protesters. Federal government trying to silence me by freezing my account, says NSAS activist. Renu was one of those who is voicing out on that. Everyone has right to protest. UN is saying exactly. This. We may not escape another NSAS protest if the Senate is warning in here. All right, this day newspaper says NSAS protesters demand for justice. Good governance is legitimate, says the UN. Commends federal government's quick response to demands. Urges government to facilitate security sector reforms and address concerns. Okay, remember the Deputy Secretary General of the UN, Amina Mohammed, meeting with the government recently, and she was talking about that. Daily Trust is next, and it says, we paid 6.6 million naira ransom for our daughter's release. Katsina community. 26 girls spent 23 days in captivity. No ransom paid. Zamfara government is saying this. And delegation ambushed by bandits, the police is saying this, all right? So while the community says we spent 6.6 million as ransom, government is saying no ransom was paid.
Well, it's not strange.
All right, it's okay. Let's go to Leadership newspaper now. Second wave of COVID-19 imminent. NCDC is warning in here. Second wave of COVID-19 imminent. Okay, from there, let's go to national economy. Our COVID-19 vaccine, more than 90% effective. Pfizer, the company, is saying this, right? The Daily Times is next now. UN wades into NSAS crisis. Daily Times saying UN wades into NSAS crisis, all right? From there, let's go to News Direct. That says fuel scarcity looms as Pengasan commences indefinite strike. Fuel scarcity looms as Pengasan commences indefinite strike. Business Day is next, and it says economic reforms face uncertainty as Nigerians lose trust in government. Economic reforms face uncertainty as Nigerians lose trust in government. That's Business Day. The last one we're looking at now is Blueprint newspaper. It says Senate warns as federal government says we won't spare NSAS promoters. And okay, we won't spare NSAS promoters. The federal government is saying that. And Senate is warning, be cautious. Lawmakers not aware of foreign accounts or frozen accounts of protesting youths. Buhari to youths, hold your peace. Our generation is exiting. Right? UN backs peaceful protest and condemns violence. And the NIS releases Odefe's passport. All right? Odele's passport, rather, as a Nigerian Immigration Service. Okay, those are some of the headlines we have on the papers this morning. Now, a lot of them are talking about NSAS and the fallout of it, NSAS and the fallout of it. I'd like to start from there with my guests here in the studio. Now, this day newspaper, Vanguard newspaper, all of them, most of them, they're talking about the NSAS protest. Now, Oladide, let me start with you here.
I was going to beg you to start with me.
No, let me start with you. You know, there is no lady
In the business.
In the business,
Yeah.
it's just gentlemen of the press. So, but the point is, with the stance of government, when some people are saying that NSAS protest was meant to destabilize the country on one hand, and then others are saying we'll ensure that no one goes into that kind of protest again, and then recall too that accounts of some NSAS promoters were frozen as a way of trying to, get back at them and so on. Does it send out a message that it seems government does not still understand what the NSAS thing was?
Thank you very much. While the fire was raging, and I declared that I don't trust the government, so also several Nigerians don't trust the government. There has been a huge disconnect between us, the governed, and the government. And it has worsened over the years. I was thinking that they will seize the moment and use this opportunity to reconnect with us. And I also want that I've been a watcher of government for over 25 years, and I can easily predict that all the promises being made at the twilight of the protest were pro forma invoice promises, that they will not be honored. People accuse me of not being optimistic, but where are we now? To look back, the first beneficiary of NSAS now is the police,
Right.
not the promoters, okay, not the victims. So it will be very myopic, parochial, and backward thinking for anybody to now say it was aimed at attacking Nigerian government. For what purpose? The details were very clear. SARS had gone bad, had become a monster, no longer liable in any reasonable human or civil community. So it had to go. But beyond that, there were other recorded cases of brutality and, of course, obvious bad governance, which today has turned Nigeria, a once buoyant pride of Africa, to the poverty capital of the world.
Right. Now, we'll look at it from various perspectives. Now, Funke, the point is, I know from your programs and all of that, you've engaged with a lot of these people, those who are for, those who are against, those who understand, those who don't understand what this whole thing is about. But what do you make of when they're talking about how big Nigeria is, how diverse we are in our thinking, opinion, disposition, and approach to everything? Are we on the right track, moving somewhere, or we're just hovering?
Are we moving somewhere? I'll tell you what. While you were talking, you were reading the headlines. I said to myself, I started thinking in pictures, and I thought if I were watching a movie of this NSAS and the handling of it by the government, I would think this is so very unfair. I will be angry watching the movie, forgetting that it's a movie.
It's a movie.
But the sad thing is that this is reality. I am a member, or I'm of your kingdom. Let's bring it to a movie now. Yeah. I'm of your kingdom. And I'm telling you, that house, someone has been killed. The Eshors of the land have killed someone. Another Eshor has killed this one. And then you're not listening. And then we decided to go out on a peaceful protest. And then you turn against us, and we become the ones being haunted and hunted. So it's terrible. I try to be on the side of the government to see from their lenses, but it's so difficult to see. You have children at home as well, and these children are telling you we're daily decimated. We are the future of the country. This is happening to us. Can you help? Can you intervene? And you turn around. For 12 days they were on the streets telling you this is what is going on. Do something about it. You kept quiet. And when you were going to do something on that fateful Sunday, you said you've disbanded this or you've ended this, but you started with something that is so similar as well. And now we're hearing and we're reading in the papers that you're haunting these people. Why won't the UN step in? Because it's looking like, as Are said, there's a disconnect from those governing and the people being governed. Is it that we're not saying it loudly enough that there is police brutality? Yeah. Is it that, and imagine what the Minister of Justice is saying. 1 minute is saying, I asked on a program, which which version do we
believe?
Do we believe, exactly,
as citizens?
Yeah.
Now Malami is telling us the people at the toll gates who shot were hoodlums in army uniform. I'm asking myself, what kind of irresponsible statement is this? Even the army didn't say they weren't there.
Exactly. The governor of Lagos State didn't say the army wasn't there.
He sent them there. So why is this man at the peak?
At that high level.
Yes.
Yes.
And from what you're saying, how does it compound the issue of distrust that you were talking about? Because the point there is, if this thing is so obvious, where the military did not deny they didn't go there, the governor of Lagos State, the government of Lagos State didn't deny, but someone far away in Abuja is saying that.
Who, for all I care, I can quickly isolate him and call him a non-stakeholder in Lagos affairs. For all I care. So that's when
but he's the Minister of Justice.
Yeah, exactly. Is he giving value for the office?
Preempting. He's preempting.
The same him, day before yesterday, said of the 35 ex-search officers that have been apprehended, that they haven't gotten enough evidence to prosecute them. What that means?
It's just
that
amazing.
they will be released. Which brings me back to my thoughts this morning. Where is Kabiru Sokoto that bombed the Catholic Church in Abuja? Where is Sadiq Oguchi that bombed Yanya? Where is the NDDC drama that I watched on television? How has it ended? Where is the movement for bring back our girls? We can go on. All of these were things we saw with the media, with the hype and all of that. So I can conveniently tell you now, and I'm saying it again, put me on I mean, you can record it and bring it up again later, that nothing will happen at the end of all of this drama beyond strong attempts now aimed at suppressing and oppressing everyone that has been identified as being part of NSAS protest.
All right.
But you know what I like, though, is that the Senate is saying...
I mean...
That is what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, you need
because the issue there is...
The reading there is different.
The government, because when you're talking about the government, sometimes when the Senate say we're talking to government, who is government? Government is made
all
up of three
them.
arms. Exactly.
All of us,
the
including us. But we are
legislature, judiciary. But the Senate seemed to
be sympathetic.
Either sympathetic. The point there is,
or see what others cannot see.
Maybe they are seeing it from the people's perspective, or they're trying to be careful not to be seen to be against the people. I wouldn't know. But the point there is, the language of the Senate right now is trying to talk to the executive arm of government. Look, listen, there's something here, and we need to act.
Well, they're closest to the people.
What do you make of that?
They're closest to the people.
Ordinarily.
Well, ordinarily, because they should have seen all of these. They should have taken this first before the citizens. Because then again, it's a failure of the legislature. Because I mean, what are you talking about on the floor of the Senate or the House of Rep? If you weren't talking about police brutality,
the people, exactly.
Before the people then decided to take their destinies into their own hands, they were losing children, they were losing husbands, they were losing teeth and losing pregnancies, as we have heard from some of the judicial panels set up. So again, it's even better that the legislature is singing a different tune from the executive. We thank God for that. But we hope that they will take it a step further. And intervene and mediate between the executive and the people. It's a no-brainer. Why would you hunt the people who were on a peaceful protest? It's a legitimate right in a democracy.
Because it is clear now that there was a difference between the NSAS protesters and the hoodlums who were burning.
Nobody should deny that.
It is clear.
And the story wouldn't have changed if the army weren't invited to Lekki.
Exactly.
There was nothing violent going on at Lekki.
All right. I guess
before we run away,
I want us to run fast.
Let me quickly drop this.
Okay.
And that is the fact that it took a foreign country to arrest some people and got them tried for funding Boko Haram. My federal government,
in the UAE,
5 years after we were promised that all the people funding Boko Haram, they know them, that they will mention them, get them apprehended, and get them taken to court. Nobody has been so tried. over $800 million were traced to some 6 people, and today they've been sent to jail by a foreign country. But it was so easy for the same operators to go after NSAS protesters. Something is wrong.
Something is wrong. That is the case. Now, let's leave that and go to another story. The story on the front page of the Leadership newspaper says that second wave of COVID-19 is imminent. NCDC is warning here. Now, Funke, I wonder what you make of this, because the government...
What I make of it, huh?
My brain was saying NDDC.
No, not no, it's NCDC this time. Now, the point there is, government has expressed its frustration over the months of people not adhering to the protocols. The NCDC, the Federal Ministry of Health, the state ministries of health, all of them have expressed this frustration one way or the other. But now they're saying, especially the last 2 days, if you saw the numbers, they went sharp up, and then today it came down a little bit, but they're talking about the possibility of a second wave.
Because there's a second wave outside Nigeria, so we must have a second wave.
We could have a second wave.
I don't get it. Who is the writer of the script? Once we hear something is happening in the UK, in the US, automatically it starts happening here as well. It's a very curious case of a certain Benjamin. You know, I don't get it.
Not only that, you know, it boils down to something. As a father, the head of a family, when you call your family or wife and children and say, look, these are the issues on ground, thou shalt not, thou shalt not. They must believe you.
Yeah.
And that belief will be premised on established, tried, and tested trust over the years. Right. But again, the people don't trust the government. Yeah. Everywhere on the street, what they are saying is that they are scamming us, and then they are creating avenues to loot the treasury.
All right.
It's unfortunate.
We hope that is not the case.
Let's hope so, but they haven't handled COVID properly.
All right. We have to leave you here now, and we must thank you so much, Alade Indario, for coming on the program.
And if there is no fuel, I will check here next season.
Forget Treasurer Durozala, thank you for coming as well. Thank you. Right.